Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today, I'm kicking off a 5-day review of frozen spaghetti and meatballs. But before I get started, if you want to play a drinking game, this is the perfect video for it. Take a drink every time I say frozen spaghetti and meatballs. I didn't do this intentionally. Well, maybe I did, but either way, remember to drink responsibly. I'm sure that there's more brands of frozen spaghetti and meatballs available. I'm just using the frozen spaghetti and meatballs that I could find in my area. We're going to be trying the least expensive frozen spaghetti and meatballs to the most expensive frozen spaghetti and meatballs to see which frozen spaghetti and meatballs has the best flavor, the best quality, and the best bang for your buck. The first frozen spaghetti and meatball dinner we're trying is Banquet's Spaghetti and Meatballs, which is spaghetti with meatballs made with chicken, pork, and beef and marinara sauce. And if this looks familiar, it should. 2 years ago, I already reviewed the Banquet Spaghetti and Meatballs, but I'm re-reviewing it for 2 reasons. The price has increased from $1.24 to $1.89 in 2 years. That's a 53% increase for the same amount of food. The second reason I'm reviewing it again is I only reviewed it by itself. I didn't review it against other frozen spaghetti and meatballs. Banquet's frozen spaghetti and meatballs is the cheapest out of the 5, so it's going to be the first one we review. Here's the list of ingredients. And with Banquet being the least expensive of the 5 spaghetti and meatballs we're trying today, I expected the meatballs to have textured vegetable protein, which they do. I'm curious to see as the price increases if they use textured vegetable protein as well. I think what I'm getting at is textured vegetable protein, or TVP, is typically used as a filler in cheaper, highly processed foods. The serving size is the whole 10-ounce container, which has 330 calories, 15 grams of total fat, 5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 3 grams of polyunsaturated fat, 6 grams of monounsaturated fat, 35 milligrams of cholesterol, 830 milligrams of sodium, 34 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, 5 grams of sugars, and 14 grams of protein. Here's our Banquet frozen spaghetti and meatballs right out of the freezer and right out of the box. We're going to be microwaving all 5 spaghetti and meatball meals. The Banquet frozen spaghetti and meatball meal goes into a microwave for 3 minutes on high. Then after 3 minutes, you give it a stir and let it cook for another 1.5 to 2 minutes. Here's our Banquet frozen spaghetti and meatball meal after cooking for a total of 4.5 minutes. What do you, the people, think about my mustard color nail polish? Hi! For those of you in the know, already know about the nail polish. If you don't know and you're not already in the know, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be in the know. If you're a new subscriber and you're already in the know, thank you for subscribing and welcome to the channel. And if you like spaghetti and meatballs, whether they're fresh or they're frozen, hit that like button. Unlike most things nowadays, subscribing to my channel and liking my videos is absolutely free. And as a gift from me to you, the people, when you subscribe to my channel and like my videos, you get an automatic lifetime subscription to the Wolf Pit channel. Once the frozen spaghetti and meatballs were thoroughly heated, we gave them a good mix, and then we tried to get a good twist of spaghetti on the fork. However, the noodles came up a little bit short. I bet you've heard that before. Shut up, Scooter. Leave my personal life out of this. So as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, the noodles were shorter than typical spaghetti noodles, therefore they were harder to twist. The noodles were slightly overcooked, but the flavor on the sauce and the noodles combined was pretty good. The sauce was definitely lacking, but we were able to get a little bit on a spoon. And the sauce was pretty good. It didn't taste like homemade, but I didn't expect it to taste like homemade. But I'll tell you, the aroma and the sauce reminded me so much of the spaghetti and meatballs that we had in elementary school. In elementary school, an hour or so before lunchtime, the smell of spaghetti and meatballs was wafting through the school, making our mouths water. And I don't exactly remember how it tasted, or if I really liked it, but I do remember enjoying the wafting smell of spaghetti and meatballs. So this is a little nostalgic for me. So we shanked a meatball like a prison snitch. So to get one more taste of the spaghetti sauce by itself, and then to try the meatball by itself without any sauce, I proceeded to put the ball in my mouth and suck the sauce off the ball. Do it. After doing so, I got another taste of the sauce, and again, it was pretty good. And now we have a sauce-free, clean meatball to try on its own. And as I bit into the meatball, it was a little bit spongier than I remember. But sponginess aside, it was a tasty meatball. Now for the record, I did not go back and watch my previous review of the Banquet frozen spaghetti and meatballs. I didn't want it to have any influence, whether good or bad, on today's review. I think the Banquet frozen spaghetti and meatballs is pretty good, especially for $1.89. Sometimes marinara sauces can be acidic. This marinara sauce was not. It was somewhat sweet with a nice herb flavor and just the right amount of spiciness. And the meatballs had a good flavor and were very moist, but they were a tad bit spongy. Overall, this is a pretty good frozen spaghetti and meatball dinner with an adequate amount of food for $1.89, which is why I'm going to give the Banquet frozen spaghetti and meatball dinner a 7 out of 10. Stay tuned for tomorrow's, a little bit more expensive, Day 2's frozen spaghetti and meatball dinner. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.